Amazon doors. As anyone who's had any dealings with these cars will already know, obviously the two-door doors, like this one, focus please, are longer than the front doors of a four-door. There are, however, one other significant difference is that the trailing edge of a four-door door, this is the trailing edge of a four-door door, is pretty much square, whereas on the two-door it has this curved profile. Oops, finger over lens. It has this curved profile, so they're not exactly the same there. They do, however, all rust in very similar ways. Right, this is a pretty good door as they go, because we just have the frame going a little bit there and a little bit in that. Why am I getting this reflection right? And a little bit in that corner. Right, the skin of this door is perfectly usable, perfectly repairable. There's just a couple of tiny little bits to sort out on the door frame there. Right. Now the door I'd actually intend fixing for my next project is this one, which is unusual in that the outer skin is good, but the inner section of the door has gone very badly at the bottom. Furthermore, some parts of the rail that fits the rubber seal have had to be ground off because they were completely rotted out. This has a little bit of corrosion in this front section, but it's not an issue. It's all perfectly good, perfectly solid. But what I have had to do is cut away the bottom of the door and say, unusually for this one, the outer skin is okay, and I've been able to mostly leave that. There's just a bit at this end which has gone bad, and what I intend doing is using a good part of a repair panel to do this. The repair panels are available, well, in this case, for a right-hand side four-door door, front four-door door. You can get a bottom for it. It's okay, it's a pretty good panel, it fits reasonably well. If you look, one thing very useful to note is that this is a two-door repair panel, and they're identical at the front, and indeed even at the back they're okay, except that you would just need to add a bit of steel here to make up the shape that you have on the four-door one. So you know, they're pretty close. There's not a lot different. Of course, you need to change the length of it. But the reason that that's worth thinking about is that it appears that it is only possible, and I think they're all old stock, it's only possible to get a right-hand door repair for a four-door. You cannot get a left-hand one, right? But based on that, you should be able to get a two-door one, cut it down, very slight mod at the back end of it, and use it. Now, my intention is going to be to I'm not going to use the whole of this panel. This part is still good, and I'm keeping that in place to just keep the dimensions the same, and I'll maybe use part of this, but more preferably I think I'll actually use the front bit of the two-door repair and put that on. So I'll use the two-door repair and the front section of it, take it up to here. I've got some more of this rail which I'll be able to attach and get it all fixed up that way. But just one or two little things to note. First of all, while I'm here, you've got to be careful in that on the inside of the door bottom is welded on this section which holds the little brace and the wheel for the window. So that'll have to be welded back on. I'll make a hole in the bottom of this panel and just weld through onto that, and that'll be fine. With regard to the door skin itself, they are spot welded all along the bottom at, I don't know, something like 40mm spacings. So those have to either be drilled out or ground off, the spot welds all along the bottom. I had a go at marking where they were, but it turned out to just be easier to grind off the remains of the spots from the inside because it was all rotted out there. Going up the side of the door, there are very few welds. There's one are drilled out here, and there'll be one there, and they're very, very widely spaced. So if you are removing or partially removing a door skin, there aren't many welds to get rid of, and most of this is just being folded over, and I've got the folding tool, so I'll be able to do that. Found one on eBay. Got to do quick repair here, replace just this corner of the panel because it's bad, and then I should be in good shape. One other trap for the unwary, which I discovered myself, is that the repair panel, it will go up to there-ish. The repair panel will go up quite a ways, and there's actually a reinforcing plate. This is part of the door hinge, and that's behind, and there were 2 spot welds to drill out there. And I will probably not use the whole turnaround on this. I'll probably cut it down here and do an overlap weld down in that section. But anyway, that's some of the basics of Volvo Amazon doors, and